everyone, my name is Alvon Devara. I'm a student at University Dharma Pontianak. My student number is 23412967. My attendance list is number 5. So today we're gonna learn about English classes, yeah? Before we start, I'm just telling you the classes material that I will discuss based on reference that I have searched and studied. So I apologize if our understanding of classes is different, and I also apologize in advance if there's something missing or wrong, because I'm also not an expert in this. I'm still just a beginner on this material. That's why we're gonna learn together. First of all, what is clauses? Clauses is a group of words that contain a subject and a verb. Clauses can express complete thoughts and can function independently as sentence or be part of a larger sentence structure. By learning what is clauses, we will know that understanding clauses is like unlocking the secret language code, enhancing our ability to communicate effectively. There are two main types of clauses. The first one is independent clauses. So here we go. So here you can see what is independent clause. The definition of independent clause is a clause which can be used both as standalone sentence or with another clause to make a compound or complex sentence. And here are some independent clause examples. I enjoy eating in a restaurant. I enjoy eating in a restaurant because the food is better. Waiting for the mail to come is tedious. Waiting for the mail to come is tedious, especially when I have better things to do. The earth circle around the sun. The earth circle around the sun in our solar system. The teacher is always late to class. The teacher is always late to the class because he stopped for coffee on the way. The weather is pleasant in Jamaica. The weather is pleasant in Jamaica unless there is a hurricane. It makes sense to do the most difficult job first. It makes sense to do the most difficult job first so that they are out of the way. Skiing is my favorite hobby. Skiing is my favorite hobby when I'm in the mountains. The animals are getting ready to hibernate. The animals are getting ready to hibernate by storing the food. The couple decided to get married abroad. The couple decided to get married abroad in order to lower the cost of the wedding. I like to cycle to stay healthy. I like to cycle to stay healthy because it is good form of exercise. So previously, independent clauses can stand alone and can also be combined with another sentence to make them more complete. You can see that the sentence with another colors are clauses, and it can be added with more words to make it complete. And if you still don't understand what this is independent clauses, here's a video that can help you understand more about independent clauses. My way, but I'm far away, but I'll keep running just to find a way to you till then. I've been running from it, tired of running from it, scared of feeling something now, stuck and trying to get up out of this hole. I tried to be strong, I tried to make it work, but I've been feeling too numb. Skies are bleeding on me, why'd you leave me lonely? Here's another example for independent clause. The teacher prepared an interesting lesson. This has a subject, which is the teacher. It has a predicate, which is prepare an interesting lesson. And within the predicate, there's a verb prepare. Now, the subject describes who is performing the action in the sentence. And the predicate is a part of a sentence or clause that tells us what the subject is or what it does. So the predicate tell us the action performed by the subject. The teacher is performing the action of preparing a lesson. So let's look some more example of independent clause. The boys ate pizza for dinner. So when you're trying to determine if a sentence is an independent clause, ask yourself, is there a subject? Yes, which is the boys. Also ask yourself, is there a predicate on the or a verb? Yes, there's a predicate which is ate pizza for dinner. The predicate tells us what the subject is doing and the action performed by the subject. And we have a verb 8. Now you also have to ask yourself, does this sentence make sense by itself? The boys ate pizza for dinner. Yes, this sentence is standalone sentence. It forms a complete thought, and that's it for independent clause. The next one is dependent clause. After independent clause, there is a dependent clause, also known as subordinate clause. It's a group of words that has a subject and a verb but cannot stand alone as a complete sentence. Its existence depends on an independent clauses to give meaning and context. Here are the key components and aspects to consider. Dependence on independent clauses. Dependent clauses relies on an independent clauses to form a complete thought. It functions as a part of a larger sentence, providing additional information or details. Common introducer. Dependent clauses often begin with subordinating conjunctions such as because, although, if, when, and while. This word signal the relationship with the independent clauses that follows. Incomplete thought. Unlike independent clauses, dependent clauses leave a sense of incompleteness. They may raise a question or leave readers wanting more information, which is where the independent clause come in to provide resolution. Structure of independent classes. Combining an independent classes with one or more independent classes allow for the creation of complex sentence. This complexity adds depth and nuance to the writing. And this after this, I'm gonna show you guys examples of dependent clauses.
So here's some example for independent clauses. When the aeroplane lands, we will get off it. Because I cannot go to the concert, you can have my ticket. He can write much more neatly than his girlfriend can. If you work on Saturday, I will look after your children for you. You can sleep in my spare room whenever you are in town. Though I never thought about it until now, the song did sound like the one I had before. I'm not totally certain how he won the race. This is the cat who has gone missing. Autumn is the season when the leaves fall from the trees. My sister is the one who lives in that cottage. There, these are the people who we met on a holiday. My father didn't tell me why he said those things. They were lost and we're not sure how they will find their way. What she believed was not happening. My brother doesn't know if he can drive there. We will give best seats to whoever arrived the earliest. What the man did was not useful to the situation. The prize will be given to whoever wins the race. She finally finished her college course after many years of studying. Where is the milk which was in the fridge? After all that examples, I will give you a video to make you understand more about dependent clauses. So here we're gonna see the difference between dependent clause versus independent clause. Dependent clause is a group of words that contain a subject and a predicate but doesn't express a complete idea. Meanwhile, the independent clauses is a group of words that contain a subject and a predicate and express a complete idea. Dependent clauses does not convey a complete thought. Meanwhile, independent clause convey a complete thought. And dependent clauses contain subordinating conjunction. Meanwhile, independent clauses can be combined together with coordinating conjunction. Dependent clauses also cannot be found in every sentence. Meanwhile, independent clauses can be found in every sentence.
So we learn about dependent clauses. Actually, there's three types of dependent clauses. The first one is noun clauses, and the second one is adverb clauses, And the third one is adjective clauses. Now, this time I'm gonna talk about noun clauses. Wait a minute, eh? Noun clauses is a type of dependent clauses that functions as a noun within a sentence. Like any other clauses, a noun clauses has a subject and a verb, but can stand alone as a complete sentence. Instead, it needs to be part of a larger sentence to convey a complete thought. Noun clauses can serve various roles within a sentence, including as a first one as a subject. Example that he was late caused a lot of inconvenience. Sorry. Second one, what she said surprised everyone. In these examples, that he was late and what she said function as a subject of the sentence. The second one as a object, believe that honestly is the best. Sorry, I believe that honesty is the best policy. She doesn't know what to do next. In these examples, that honesty is the best policy and what to do next function as a direct objects of the verbs believe and know respectively. The third one is as a complement. His main concern is whether the project will be completed on time. The mystery is who stole the diamond. Here, whether the project will be completed on time and who stole the diamond function as a predicate nominative, completing the sense of the sentence. For after the sentence, after certain verbs or expression, she is unaware why he left. We are curious where they went. In this case, the noun clauses why he left and where they went serve as objects of the verbs is unaware and are curious. The fifth one is introduced by interrogative pronouns or adverb. I don't understand what you mean. They are discussing where the party will be. Here, what you mean and where the party will be act as direct objects in the sentence. The sixth one is reporting statements. She told me that she will be late. He wonders whether they will come. In these examples, that she will be late and whether they will come serve as the reported speech within the sentence. Noun clauses are introduced by subordinating conjunction or relative pronouns such as that, whether, if, who, whom, whose, which, and what. Now I'm gonna give you some example about uh, noun clauses.
So here we see the non-clause examples. The first one is they plan that they will travel to Russia. She expects that she will win the bike. I know that she is a clever girl. It is disappointing that he can come. Does the child deny that he stole the poem? We feel that he is telling a lie. I know that you walk to school every day. What can be done must be remembered. We suppose to what he did is right. We suppose what he did is right. I don't believe in what she says. Does it matter when I go there? Aris, what is she looking for? None of us would know why he returned. I didn't recognize the boy who was at the station yesterday. I can do whatever they say. She learns whatever she can. You can purchase whichever of the one you want. Whoever solves the question will get the prize. The police will arrest whoever a criminal is. I wonder if she caught the train. Do you know if your father will be at home? I don't know if they are going to be married. And that was some example of non clauses. And next we're gonna learn about adverb clauses.
Now we're gonna talk about adverb clauses. Adverb clauses are dependent clauses that function as adverbs within a sentence. They provide information about the manner, time, place, condition, reason, purpose, or contrast of the action in the main clause. Adverb clauses are introduced by subordinating conjunctions, which which connect them to the main clauses. Here's an explanation along with the examples. First one is time adverb clauses. After she finished her homework, she went to bed. When the bell rings, the students will leave. In these examples, after she finished her homework and while the bell rings, are adverb clauses that provide information about the time of the action in the main clauses. The second one, place adverb clauses. Where she go, her dog follows. In the kitchen is where I found the missing keys. Here where she go and in the kitchen act as adverb clauses, indicating the place of the action is in the main clauses. The third manner adverb clauses. She spoke to him as if she was angry. He completed the project as he was instructed. In this example, as if she were angry and as he was instructed, function as adverb clauses, describing the manner in which the action in the main clauses were performed. The fourth condition adverb clauses. If it rains, we will stay indoors. She will come unless she is busy. Here, if it rains and unless she is busy, are adverb clauses expressing the condition under which the action in the main clauses will occur. The five reason adverb clauses. Because it was raining, the game was cancelled. He stayed home since he wasn't feeling well. These adverb clauses, because it was raining and since he wasn't feeling well, provide the reason for the action in the main clauses. The sixth one is contrast adverb clauses. Although he studied hard, he didn't pass the exam. She went to the party even though she wasn't invited. In these examples, although he studied hard and even though she wasn't invited, are adverb clauses showing contrast to the action in the main clauses. Adverb clauses, by modifying the main clause, contribute additional information that helps to clarify or enhance the meaning of the sentence. The subordinating conjunction used to introduce adverb clauses include words like when, while, before, after, although, because, if, since, unless, and many others. And I'm gonna show you more example about adverb clauses.
So here is some of examples of adverbial clauses. Before sunrise, he woke up. She left the keys where I could find them. Wherever they go, they have fun. He ran as fast as he could. Although it's cold, I'm going for a swim. He exercised to stay healthy. Because he was late, he missed the bus. Before dinner, I went for a walk. Wherever you go, I'll follow. She smiled as though nothing was wrong. If it's rain, we'll stay home. She studied hard so she could pass the test. Although he tried hard, he couldn't win. She bought a gift for the party. And that's some of example of adverbial clause. And I'm gonna show you guys some of the conjunction that adverbial clauses usually use. Adverb clauses of condition usually use even, if, only if, unless, in case. Adverb clauses of place anywhere, where, everywhere, wherever. Adverb clauses of time after, as soon as, before, by the time, once, since, till or until, when or while, whenever. Adverb clauses of reason use as, because, now, that, since. Adverb clauses of contrast although, even though, where, whereas, while. Adverbs of degree comparison than, as, so, as, or the. And that's it for adverb clauses.
And now I'm gonna talk about adjective clauses, also known as relative clauses, are dependent clauses that function as adjective within a sentence. They provide additional information about a noun in the main clauses. usually by specifying which one or adding more details. Adjective clauses are introduced by relative pronouns, such as who, whom, whose, which, or that, or relative adverbs such as when, where, or why. Here is explanation along with the examples. The first one is defining adjective clauses. The book that is on the shelf is mine. The person who called you left a message. In this example, that is on the cell and who call you are adjective clauses that define or that identify the specific book and and person respectively. The second one, non-defining adjective clauses. My sister who lives in Paris is coming to visit. The Eiffel Tower, which is in France, is a famous landmark. In these examples, who lives in Paris and which is in France are non-defining adjective clauses, providing additional information about the sister and the Eiffel Tower without changing the essential meaning of the sentence. The third one is possessive adjective clauses. I know a man whose son is a doctor. She lost the necklace whose pendant was diamond. Here, whose son is a doctor and whose pendant was a diamond are possessive adjective clauses, indicating the relationship or possession associated with the nouns man and necklace. The fourth one is adjective clauses with where. This is the city where I grew up. The park where we had the picnic is closed for renovation. In these examples, where I grew up and where we had picnic are adjective clauses modifying the nouns city and park. The fifth one is adjective clauses with when. She remembered the days when they first met. This is the moment when everything changed. Here, when they first met and when everything changed are adjective clauses providing information about the nouns day and moment. Adjective clauses are description or defining elements to a sentence offering more details about the nouns they modify. They enhance the overall understanding of the sentence by specifying, describing, or giving context to the nouns in the main clause. The choice of whether to use defining or non-defining adjective clauses depends on whether the information is essential or identifying the noun or it is additional and can be omitted without changing the core meaning of the sentence. Now I'm gonna show you guys some example about adjective clauses.
So in adjective clauses, there are two types: essentials and non-essential. An essential adjective clauses is clauses that is necessary for the sentence to make sense. A non-essential adjective clauses is a clauses that is not necessary for the sentence to make sense. Example for essential adjective clauses: the woman who is wearing a red dress is my mother. An example for a non-essential adjective clauses: the house which is located on the corner of the street is for sale. And common adjective clauses word is who, whom, that, which, whose, when, where, while, why, how, if, and whether. And here are some adjective clauses example sentence. The book which is on the table is mine. In this sentence, the clauses which is on the table is an adjective clause because it adds more information about the known book. The people who live in the house are my neighbor. The clauses who lives in the house is an adjective clause just because it adds more information about the known people. The car that I bought last year is very reliable. The clause that I bought last year is an adjective clause because it adds more information about the noun car. The book which is my friend recommended, that one on the table, is mine. There are two adjective clauses here that both modify the noun book. And that's it for adjective clauses. Next we're gonna talk about uh, clauses versus phrase. And now we're gonna learn about clauses versus phrase and how to differentiate them. But before we do that, we need to know what is phrase and clauses. But for classes, I don't think there's no need to explain them anymore because we already discussed that from the beginning of the video, and I will guys remember it and understand that by now. So, what is a phrase? A phrase is a small group of words that adds meaning to a sentence. A phrase is not a sentence because it is not a complete idea with a subject, verb, and a predicate. For example, the information age non-phrase, earnest in her desire adjective phrase, much too quickly to securely adverb phrase. After a very long walk, professional phrase. And the difference between phrase and clause is phrase do not contain a subject and a predicate. Meanwhile, clauses contain a subject and a predicate. Phrases cannot convey a complete thought. Meanwhile, clauses can sometimes convey a complete thought. Phrases cannot stand alone. Meanwhile, independent clauses can stand alone. And here's a video to help you understand the difference between phrase and clauses better.
Phrases vs. Clauses. Phrase and clauses are groups of words that act as a unit and perform a single function within a sentence. Foresee a group of words that may have a partial subject or verb, but not both, or it may have neither a subject nor a verb. Phrases never have a subject doing the action of a verb. A clause, however, is by definition a group of words that has a subject and a verb. A sentence can have any number of clauses and phrases combined together. Phrases. Examples. Needing help. With a green shirt. Best friend. On the horizon. After the devastation. Because of her. Glittering smile. Clauses. Examples. Sarah smiled. She laughs at shy people. Because he gave her a puppy. When the saints go marching in. I waited for him. He wants to become a teacher. Notice how each of the clauses has a subject and a verb, but the phrases do not. Some of the clauses contain phrases, like, she laughs at shy people. She laughs is a clause, and at shy people is a phrase that complements the clause and completes the sentence. Phrases can be any combination of words that do not combine a subject and a verb. There are many types of phrases, including phrases. The nice near, honest friend, troops of soldiers. Verbal phrases examples are, waiting for the rain to stop, have been sleeping, and prepositional phrases, which follow a preposition examples are, after the storm, to the end of time, the road. There are two types of clauses, dependent and independent. A dependent clause has both a subject and a verb, but is not a complete sentence, and does not express a complete thought. It is dependent on something else. It cannot stand on its own. Some examples of dependent clauses include 1. When we get enough snow. 2. Because I was upset. 3. Which book I want to read next. 4. Until the sun sets. You can see that each of these clauses has a noun and a verb, but they also have an additional word, like a subordinating conjunction because or a relative pronoun which makes the clause feel incomplete. These clauses must be attached to an independent clause to be a part of a complete sentence. An independent clause, on the other hand, is free to stand by itself. It contains a subject and a verb, and expresses a complete thought which does not require anything else. Here are some examples of independent clauses. 1. I enjoy sitting by the fireplace. 2. The sunset. 3. This is the book I want to read next. So how can you tell if a clause is dependent or independent? Sometimes they can be almost exactly the same. For example, I was a little girl in 1995 is an independent clause, but because I was a little girl in 1995 is a dependent clause. Look for the common words that are known to make dependent clauses, like subordinating conjunctions and relative pronouns. Some common ones are after, although, as if, because, before, even if, even, though, if, in order to, since, though, unless, until, whatever, when, whenever, whether, and while.
And that's the end of my explanation of the material. I apologize if there are any wrong words. In the realm of bits and bytes, we wrong as our video finishes final on with louder learning and fun ado. Until next time. I said thank you.